Okay, so I wanted to make a quick video and go through a little bit of this sketchbook. This one I haven't completed like I did the other one. So this is the sketchbook I sketch in. Like I had said in a previous video, a few minutes a day. And I try to play with my lighting a little bit so it wouldn't be so hot. And you can see some of these pictures real easily, but some of these ones are actually drawn a little more fainter. Kind of lightly sketching some of these ideas in and then going in with a darker pencil, kind of pulling out the details. And this is kind of that rendering, that value adding I was talking about when we're talking about form. Let's see here. Just kind of, I'm not going to go through the whole thing. I'm just going to kind of go through a couple things and you kind of see what I do on a lunch break or whatever. Now, what's funny is, as much as I like to sketch, sometimes I don't have the sketchbook with me. And so then I grab these little pieces of paper that I make, and then sometimes these sketch cards, these note cards, these are just like recipe cards without lines on them, and I am sketching on these things all the time, and it kind of sucks because I'll draw something really cool on one of these sketch cards and I wish I had it in the book, so I'll have to redraw it sometimes and back into the book. This, I was coming up with some symbols. I just kind of divided kind of draw out a square, divide it up a little bit, then try to draw within that square and come up with different symbols. Sometimes I try to think of composition a little bit and say, okay, add details in certain areas that line up. So there's an idea. So I'm going to call this this video the Sketchbook Challenge. And what the Sketchbook Challenge is for me is to fill up a whole sketchbook. And you don't have to do it within a certain amount of time. But for me, I would buy sketchbooks, and then I would start sketching, and I just open up the sketchbook somewhere, wherever I felt like, and then just start sketching in there. And then I would go to another part of the book and sketch there. So it was kind of all over the place. And then I would see like an open page and I would write like an idea for a comic or, some story. I'd take a note, oh, this band, and I'd write it down in the sketchbook. Oh, this, whatever it was. I use it as a notebook more than a sketchbook. And then I saw a person who challenged themselves to do a sketch. It was like 100 pages in 30 days or something like that. And as they're going through their sketchbook, and it's a sketchbook, it's filled with colorful drawings and just some rendered stuff, some just sketched in there stuff. And it dawned on me, I was like, I've never actually filled in a whole sketchbook. I've always used it as kind of a notebook. And I think that the issue with that is if you got some ideas, like this page here, I was kind of playing around with the idea of like the covers of books, which I don't have a lot of experience in. So what I did was I thought, well, I'm going to start just drawing stuff, and see where that takes me. Is that you don't have that reference to go back to. Oh, where is it in that book? And oh, here's that band that I wrote down and that story idea or whatever. But where was that? Those sketches I did, and so that I have another sketchbook and I'll show that one at some point. But that one I actually filled up, and ironically, I don't know if it's ironic or not, but when I bought that sketchbook, it had a special that was this sketchbook, but 20% more pages. And I filled it all up. Now this sketchbook has its normal standard size. And so I'm going through it. We'll see what happens here if I go I'll show every. I mean, I've been actually doing pretty good with this. I think I got this sketchbook in February, and we're in May. And now, look, when I say I sketch in it every day, it's true, I do. But sometimes, maybe, like in this case, some of these sketches might take up the time I have. I eat during my lunch, and then sometimes it takes me longer than usual, and so I don't get into the sketchbook and sketch as much as I'd like to. And you know, sometimes I'm looking for a little bit of inspiration or something or whatever. That's another video I'm going to talk about too. I had mentioned about I think I even have a page in here where I just did some like circles I talked about. Beetlejuice. This is compositional stuff. So I did write some notes in here, but I think this is I would make an exception for, because I'm talking about composition. So like you know, silhouette, you know, and whatever else I did there. Sometimes I might write a note as this was inspired from this, or this is like a research drawing or a study or something like that, and I'll note something there if it's not obvious to me that was an idea that I'm redrawing, because I'm inspired by a lot of different things. I don't try to focus particularly on one style. This is why I try to encourage people just to use your shapes and your forms, and get yourself to a place where you're feeling comfortable just drawing. So many people judge themselves, and you know, I think I said that before about like, don't judge your failure or yourself based on somebody else's success. So don't do that. Just pick up the pencil and start drawing. This is a page of just lines, little things, and all I was doing, you know, let's take this note, and I saw another person doing this. We're just making circles. Let's cover that guy up, so let's do it way up here so we can see better. Doing circles counterclockwise, clockwise, and just change that pattern up so that your hand gets more control of that pencil. You can consider these just warm-up kind of stuff. And really, that's how it acts, because when you're doing this and you're just kind of whittling away the time, but you want to put that pencil on the paper, and the reason you do that is because you don't want days to go by until you've said to yourself, oh my gosh, I haven't drawn anything. This is helpful. You know, you're keeping your brain there where you're just you're drawing, and I can kind of, it's almost hypnotic a little bit. I can get right into it and just kind of start thinking about maybe something I want to draw that's not just this, how these lines are playing out, and who knows. So do that. Do that in between, like, you know, sketching figures and stuff like that. Okay. So I don't know. Kind of blasting through it real quick, but I think yeah, this is how much I've gotten so far. Again, it's not a lot, but I'm not just trying to why is it doing that? Stop. Okay. I was like, why is that flashing? I'm really going to try to, at some point, get a better camera and then work on the lighting, because I wanted these fainter lines to show up in my in the video. And if I bump the table, I'm bumping the light, so I think that's what's causing that to happen. But I have another, the next video, I think I'm going to talk about something in particular. When you are making those shapes, and not necessarily your warm-up sketches, but if you're just kind of putting some things together, kind of seeing where it leads without, this is good just to keep your mind in an abstract place. And then you look at an object, and just like a cloud, you might see a form in there. I'm going to talk a little bit about that, and I want to talk about the specific being how that relates to the mind. And some people may not understand this, but I'm gonna get some validation for it, so that those people out there who you have that imagination and you're able to see a form in some shapes, why that is 100% completely like fine. I'll use the word fine. I was gonna say normal, but that's not necessarily what I mean. I don't want to make it. It's like it's leave it to Beaver kind of, like you're a normie kind of thing. But that genetically, biologically, your ability to see form in the abstract, that there's like I said, a biological reason and function for that. And so if you have that ability, it's more of an exceptional kind of thing than, let's say, another species out there that doesn't have that ability to see that or whatever. And you can see I took those shapes and I just turned this into something there. And maybe that, some kind of alien you created or something, or I don't know, animal form. But okay, well, I'll show more of this sketchbook down the road. I'm going to show more of the other sketchbook when I open that up. And so hopefully you liked it. Like and subscribe, please, and leave some comments. That would be cool. And I'm going to definitely try to make the videos better. So, but it's all in due time. So thanks again.